Well, I call it flux. This little red tin has its solder paste. You know, and I've used this probably. This is the only tin I've ever had in my life. Yeah. I just put a whole bunch on my stick. You see, I just leave that closed. Okay. So now, I know I want to do these two ends. But hang on. These ends are okay, I can do. But these ends, I gotta put my shrink tubing on. My shrink tubing has to go over top of the ends on that. So, go with this size. I got a red or a black. One size down. Yes. So fits over it. Doesn't much any room for soldering wire. Remember, I want to use these bigger wires, right? We're going to extend the length of the original ones. And this shrink tubing won't fit over these wires. So, I'm going to have to go 4 pieces this size, 2 black and 2 red. Put the solder away. I'm going to cut these in half. I don't need them that long. Scissors over here. Okay. Now, I'm going to solder the black on the bottom here and the red on the top. Okay? But remember, you come over and I'll be very careful with my flux on a stick. Okay. And I get these all fluxed up nice. Right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tin this, I'm going to tin these, and then we'll put them together. Now I'm not putting the heat shrinking on yet because I can slide it down over. Okay? So we'll get this tin there, that tin there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the wire and the heat and put on the solder because this is a pretty big wire. It's 3. There we go. Have that nice in there. Get this one done. That's nice. Now remember the negative right to the bottom. We'll get that on there first. That set up. Okay, now this top one. A little more solder on the gun. And push the heat through. Make the wire the hottest. I don't want to melt the prong. Oh no. It moved on me. There we go. I don't want to melt the prong. Another jeans plug. There we go. So, take it out of the stand. I'm going to make sure the ends are square. I bent the wires back. And we'll slide a couple of these heat shrink tubes down. Heat shrink wire, tubing over the wires. Right? Cut them on there good. Some people like to use a heat gun, whatever. I use a little lighter. And we'll shrink the tubing down. There. I'm just going to plug into our battery. Okay. Remember, this time though, because there's no open end, we're going to put the shrink tubing on here. I like to put it on before I put the flux on, because you're going to flex up these wires and then tin them. We'll do the same to this ESC, and we'll get them done. Okay, so now I've only got one hand, and I haven't got one of those little hobby things. So I got a rubber band on the trigger of my gun here, and if you see, it's not quite hard enough to pull the trigger unless I help it. So I've got the rubber band on. I'm going to come in here again. Now I use my solder paste always. Okay. Get these things, a little bit of that solder paste on them. Not much, just to get them in and out of it is lots. Okay. See guys, can you guys see what I'm doing here? Huh? I'll move you up and down. How about there? There? So I got the black on the back. Make a piece of shrink tubing on here. My solder. Ready right here. Now turn my gun on. You see, I can get the solder on there. Okay, when it's hot enough it'll melt, which it is. Okay, now I can hold my two wires together and voila, let's join them. Okay, now I should have done it, I guess. I really didn't tin that end very well, did I? The others are pre-tinned. Might have to redo that red black one. We'll see how it joins. But there we go. Get this red one tinned. Now you can twist your wires, you can join them, you can do whatever you want. But end to end, keeping it neat looking. Okay. See, even though. Okay. Try hard, it won't break. So I'm happy with that. Man, oh man, I might have a little too much on here. Just melt a little bit of this solder off. You see, you can do that. I'm not going to take the joint away. Okay. Now, we have that done. Put these things back in their places. We got to put shrink tubing on here. We'll bring this shrink tubing down over top of these joins I made. Get some fire under it, or a heat gun. And shrink your shrink tubing. There. Okay. So, let's see if I got some. I have more sorted pieces in here. Would fit over top of these. Just nice. Oops, that one won't fit here. And one more bigger one. Hopefully bigger than that yet. Holy. Well, I'll find a piece for it. It's got extra solder on the outside. There's a little issue here. But, got a piece of shrink tubing that goes around it. There we go.